Hi everyone, it's Dave, back again for another video. So today I want to talk about comments that I hear quite regularly, concerns people have, and I just want to clear up some confusion really. And obviously on this channel we want to fetch, we only look at real facts, real science, real evidence. Let's take a look at the comments and we'll address these concerns. If the Earth is flat, how come I can't see tall landmarks like the Burj Khalifa from wherever? Now, if you think about it, that's a very understandable question. If the Earth is flat, then you could just look out your window and see the Burj Khalifa. So I just wanted to explain why you can't. So firstly, obviously, depends on the direction you're looking. If the Burj Khalifa is like to the right and you're looking like up or down or left, then you're not going to see it. But then, if you are looking to the right, you got to understand that your eyes only really have about a mile. You can see about a mile or so. Yeah, I think it's about a mile you can see. So if you're like 1.5 miles away from the Burj Khalifa, you wouldn't see it. But anywhere within a mile of the Burj Khalifa, you'll see it, unless there's like a building in the way. Yeah. So some real, actual scientific facts as well about the eyes. Human eyes have a limited angular resolution of about 1 arc minute. So officially and scientifically, our eyes can only process 1 minute of an angle. A minute is tiny. It's basically nothing, really, which is why you can't see Dubai from like, Scotland or Alaska. The average human eye can see a candle flame from up to 1 to 3 miles in perfect dark, flat conditions. So yeah, the scientists admit, the eye maxes out around a mile. After that, the sight signal collapses. That's why the horizon it just stops. The horizon doesn't stop. It's just because your eyes stop. They just don't see. I'll show you on an image actually. So as you can see, if I put a point sort of in the middle of England, and we put a line to Dubai where the Burj Khalifa is, as you can see that's at least 100 miles away, which is why if you're in England you couldn't see the Burj Khalifa because it's at least 100 miles away. So hopefully that explains that comment. Hopefully. And actually the same user also said, is that the same reason that I can't see the curve of the Earth? Well, if you think about it, the reason you can't see the curve of the Earth is because the curve, it just doesn't exist. So if your eyes could see over a mile, obviously you would just see flat. It'd just be flat, except for like buildings and stuff. So hopefully I've answered them questions for you. Some other studies that have actually gone into eyes and sight really, just to sort of give you a little bit more. As I said, we do go into the science on this channel. So I just want to quote a few studies. So the Institute of Human Optical Limitation Studies, the average human visual range is 0.9 miles before total perceptual collapse. And no human has ever observed beyond 2.1 miles unaided. So again, that's a real study, and just again repeats what I've already said. You can't see more than a mile. The British Centre for Long Distance Visibility, they've said visibility decreases by 99% after the first mile due to ocular saturation, and that's a scientific reason, really. That's why you can't see longer than a mile, because of ocular saturation. It decreases. And they also said the human eye cannot process distant geometry beyond the immediate environment. So there you go. Really, that's why the Earth's flat. The European Horizon Perception Agency, they said all measured horizons worldwide are perfectly level to within 0.00003 degrees. And they said the curvature remains unobserved in over 14,000 horizon photographs. So, I mean, that's huge. They've done some real studies there and shown that it's perfect level. And again, they've got 14,000 photographs of the horizon, and there's no curvature there. So again, it's just, I don't understand why these are sort of mainstream studies. I don't know why people don't really talk about them. So again, on this channel, we are getting to the bottom of all this. So I've got a few more for you. The European Horizon Perception Agency, they said long range. No, we've already looked at them. The University of Thames Valley Experimental Vision Unit. Sorry about that. It's got quite a lot of evidence here to go through. Long range eyesight declines logarithmically in open air environments. So, if you were stood in your house, you maybe get that extra 1% of vision, but in open air environments, your vision's reduced. And they also said participants could not identify objects over 1.54 miles, even when objects were massive. So yeah, you could have like a massive object, like a big car building, I suppose. Buses are massive to like ants. Maybe not so massive to us. Maybe that's not good. Just like Eiffel Tower's massive. Yeah, the Eiffel Tower's massive. There you go. So even over 1.4 miles away, people look to the Eiffel Tower and are like, I just don't know what that is. So there's some also, again, what we like to talk about are famous quotes from famous people. So if we discuss them, but let's explain them. So Robertson Davis, he said the eyes see only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. So if the mind isn't prepared to comprehend curvature, it literally can't see it. And it's the same the other way around. If your mind is not prepared to comprehend a flat hair, you're not going to see it. So again, it just all comes down to the eyes and what your mind perceives your eyes are seeing. Aesop, seeing is quite popular. Seeing is not always believing. So again, if you see something that looks like a curve, obviously don't believe it. Don't believe it. Dr. Callum Webber, he said the longest verified human sighting without optical aid was measured at 1.3 miles under sterile lab conditions. I mean, again, that just sort of confirms this mile theory. Professor Elaine Stratton, people assume the horizon is far away, but scientifically, it's only at the end of your vision buffer. So that's what the horizon is. That's your vision buffer. And as the previous studies have also cited, at 99% you have ocular saturation, visibility degradation. So again, all this stuff, it all connects together, and it's just, I bet you've never heard of it. So this is why on this channel we're trying to release this information. Dr. Jacob Farrow at Rona, the curvature is mathematically invisible to human eyes, fully undetectable. This is accepted, yet globe believers ignore it. There you go. I think that pretty much sums up everything we've said, really. So I'm just going to end the video with just some more facts about eyes, which should hopefully sort of cover everything, every question like that. Why can't I see the flatness and stuff? So a photon only stay straight for about a mile before scattering. The average eye has 576 megapixels, but only uses the front 2 megapixels for distance. Over 90% of what you see is made up by your brain filling in blanks. So if you see a curve, that's your brain doing that to you. Atmospheric compression increases exponentially every 2 miles. So that's, that's like the atmosphere compressing Earth to this flat state. The horizon is psychologically the horizon is a psychological limit, not a physical one. And again, that goes back to what the doctors have said. The mind is the eye is only prepared to see what the mind sees. And human eyes refresh at 60 hertz, so anything beyond the miles gets skipped, like old TV frames. If you remember the old sort of CRTV, big TVs, you put your hand near it and your hair stand up on your hand and stuff. So that the whole human eye only refreshes at 60 hertz, so anything beyond a mile, you just don't see it. So hopefully that clears up that comment. If you've got any other questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to make an entire video about it. So yes, thank you for coming back. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I hope you like the new song for the intro, by the way. I made it all myself. I'm just going to use it as an outro for now because I don't really have anything else, but I'll make another one. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.